Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Finally, we have a guy with balls, and he's gonna stick up for another guy with balls. The first guy with balls is Mr. DeSantis. If you know who that is, he's the governor of the state of Florida, and he's going to stick up for Djokovic, Novak Djokovic, the tennis player, the Serb tennis player, who is not allowed to enter in the United States of America. His entry was denied because of his COVID, how do you call it, COVID vaccination status. So Djokovic, who broke all the records, I think, or most records, as how many Grand Slams he's got and so on, and he's about to beat them to get way ahead of everybody else. He's a Serb, so we understand, right? Then, doesn't have anything to do with that. Okay, that's, you can think that. Anyway, I'm not saying he's the victim, but he was not allowed to play in as well in Australia, and I think in last time in the US again, the US Open. Now he wants to come and play again, and because of his vaccination status, he's not going to be waived, so he's not going to be allowed to play. Well, actions have consequences, correct? Correct. Well, but we have those mandates for the vaccines, and we have to obey them, because otherwise we're bad citizens and we expose everybody else to danger. All right, but DeSantis doesn't think so, and he would like to appeal to whenever he's up, Joe Biden, to ask him to allow maybe Djokovic to come and play. I think that's fantastic, because I don't think that Djokovic will endanger the population of the United States of America. And if you tell me, well, the law is the law, don't start with that. We have so many people that lie under oath and do other stuff in front of the Congress and the judicial committee and others, arms, and nothing happened to them. You want to know? Look at Clapper, the former FBI or whatever he was, CIA. Look at those, for instance. So let's see this article here, and this article comes from the National Review. It's from today, March 7th, 2023. DeSantis demands Biden allow Djokovic to play in Miami Open despite vaccination status. I don't know if you can demand, but anyway, let's put it this way. March 7th, 2023. I think it's fantastic for this guy, and waivers and all that happen all the time. And for these guys, he is a treasure in tennis. He might be the greatest of all time. And he could keep going, and they, it's like we have a national treasure or a global treasure, and you keep him away for this little technicality. Why do I call it that way? It's because you can make everything around this guy being, keeping 1,000 feet away from everybody else. I'm kidding, right? Maybe have him wear something on his face or something. Anyway, this is the article. Let's see what's going on here. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis sent a letter. That's beautiful. Sticks his neck out to President Biden Tuesday, demanding Biden allow Serbian tennis star Novak Djokovic to play in a major upcoming tournament in Florida despite his being unvaccinated, like many of us. And I'm quoting, "The only thing keeping Mr. Djokovic from participating in this tournament is your administration's continued enforcement of a misguided, unscientific, and out-of-date COVID-19 requirement for foreign guests seeking to visit our great country," end quote. I was quoting Mr. DeSantis. The governor wrote in the letter slamming the Biden administration. DeSantis cited the hypocrisy in Biden's publicly admitting in September 2022 that the, and I'm quoting, pandemic is over, while still barring Djokovic from entering the US to compete in the Miami Open, scheduled for March 20th. Djokovic deserves an exemption from the arbitrary, now pointless rule, DeSantis said. Natural immunity is now, okay, I'm not going to go into this little thing here, whatever the what's his name, DeSantis says. But anyway, it's just DeSantis also called out Biden for presiding over an unprecedented crisis at the border. Okay, that's another thing. Now, last January, Djokovic was blocked from participating in the Australian Open after its border force denied his visa over the inadmissible vaccine medical exemption for foreign travelers. Djokovic was detained at a housing facility for refugees and asylum seekers while his case was being adjudicated. After a legal battle, which he lost, Djokovic was deported. Djokovic, who is the world top-ranked male tennis player, missed the Australian Open and the chance to both defend his title as well as make a bid for a 21st single major title. I thought he was denied in the U.S. as well last year. He must have been, because this rule has been for at least a year. So, but I don't remember. I think he was in the United States as well. But let me check it out. Maybe I can find it. Voila, that's what I found. CNN, our friends. Novak Djokovic withdraws from the US Open. He is unvaccinated against COVID-19 and not allowed to receive a visa and enter the country. I can make it differently. Djokovic barred to enter the country due to his unvaccinated status. All right, I changed it for you. Here he is. So yeah, if you really want to be that person who would tell me, which I agree with, order and discipline, I agree with that. But sometimes the human factor enters. And I would ask you if you think that should not be allowed, because the law is the law, the regulation is the regulation. I would ask you this. I guarantee you drive a car. You have a driver's license. You drove a car. And tell me how many thousands of times you drove past the speed limit with the impression that no one should stop you because it's only 3 miles over the speed limit. I guarantee you did that. I guarantee you did that. And if the police officer would have stopped you and you were driving 5 miles over the speed limit, you would have argued like it was the end of the days, end of your life. You would go to prison. That's how you would argue. It's only 5 miles per hour. Well, that's breaking the law, my friends. So I don't want you, the ones who have a problem with this, never, ever, ever, ever drive above the acceptable speed limit, okay? 1 mile, not even one, if you're so fair, all right? And I can go to other things where the law says something and these guys do something else. And, like bombarding and invading other countries, okay? And that's even more important than this guy showing up and playing tennis, being a global historical value by his own achievements as an individual. Or you can't bend the law for one, because if you bend it for one, you're going to bend it for everybody else. Then the same thing with driving your car. So zip it and leave me alone. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Good job, DeSantis. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Jesus Christ.